I'm going to start today with a controversial statement. Content measurement is all about storytelling. As humans, we are storytelling animals. Storytelling was how we first bonded in tribes and passed along lessons from generation to generation. Neuroscience has shown that great storytelling immerses us and makes our brains feel good, spiking our oxytocin and dopamine. For that reason, storytelling is arguably the #1 skill in business today. Externally, you have to tell your story to consumers. And internally, you need to tell the story of why the programs you're overseeing are a success, and why, as a result, you are a success and an invaluable asset to your company. The story of some marketing programs are super easy to tell. Take direct response advertising. If you do it right and avoid any obvious fraud, it's pretty easy to tell a story that says, for every $1 we put in, we got $1.05 in sales out. It may not be thrilling, but that's a pretty easy story to tell. The story of the success of a content marketing program is much harder. And that's in part because the potential impact of content is so vast. In the digital world we live in, content is a part of pretty much every meaningful touch point across the customer journey. Honestly, it's enough to make your head spin. And as I've learned in the last 10 years while helping large enterprise brands like Marriott, Dell, and Chase build their content programs, you need to set up your content measurement in a way that makes it super easy to tell a compelling story about the success you're having. And to help you tell that story, the team and I at ContentTECH developed the industry's first ever content measurement maturity model. Our content measurement maturity model has 4 key stages. The crawl stage is strategic to audience building. The walk stage is strategic to lead generation. The run stage is strategic to revenue generation. The fly stage is strategic to revenue attribution. And the story we're telling is basically this. In Act 1, the crawl stage, you're telling the story of how you built an audience and engaged them with content. We need to start here because quite honestly, it doesn't make any freaking sense to care about driving leads and sales from your content until you have an actual audience to inspire to take those actions. In Act 2, the walk stage, you're measuring your ability to get that audience to take an action that signals they're interested in you, like signing up for a newsletter, educational course, virtual event, or even asking to talk to sales. In Act 3, the run stage, you're showcasing how all that work in Act 1 and 2 is impacting revenue. And in Act 4, the fly stage, you're basically fulfilling your wildest fantasies by tying individual pieces of content directly to sales. Now, most of you are probably in Act 1 or 2, the crawl or walk stage. Our 2021 research found that 70% of marketers aren't even measuring the KPIs necessary to tie content to revenue. And that's fine. You need to master each stage before you can move on to the next. The key is always being able to tell a story to the rest of your company. To be able to say, hey, we're in the crawl stage right now and focused on building an audience. And when we reach these benchmarks, we're going to progress to the walk stage and start converting that audience into leads. And once we get really good at that, this is how we'll start tying that audience and those leads to revenue.